If you guys ever had a quiche before, if you have, you know that they're supposed to be nice and creamy and silky smooth. And how we're gonna keep that consistency smooth is we're gonna mix up those eggs ridiculously well. We're gonna whip them to death. And then also we're gonna put a little bit of this organic almond milk inside with the eggs. It's gonna help them fluff up a little bit and stay nice and puffy and creamy. I think a bad quiche is one that is dry and kind of flaky. They need to be nice and creamy. That's what a good quiche is to me. So that's the consistency we're going to be looking for at the end. And I'll show you some tips and tricks throughout the way to make sure that that happens. We're going to get all these vegetables chopped and prepped and put them all in a bowl and ready to go in with the eggs after we bake this pie shell. So we're going to bake this pie shell at 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes till it starts to get flaky and browned. You want to do that because the bottom of the pie shell can be mushy or chewy and just not cooked all the way. So what you do is you pre-bake these things. If you do that, you won't have any problems of it being underdone. So before everybody's mouth starts watering, let's get started. So we're gonna whip these eggs real good until they're super silky smooth. And the reason you're doing that is, again, you're putting a lot of air in there. That'll help that fluff up and also be nice and creamy. So now that we got the eggs done, we got all the vegetables prepped, we're gonna leave them all raw. We're just gonna let them cook as they cook in the quiche. We don't have to pre-cook it or anything. This is nice and simple, fresh, and deliciously tasty. So, we took the pie crust out. We did a whole bunch of stabs. I think I showed you that in there. Another thing, it's nice and golden and crispy, okay? That means it's nice and cooked already. So we're gonna put this directly in there after we season it. We're gonna season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Do some pepper, some dill weed. You gotta have some dill weed in your quiche. I don't measure anything. Cooking is a beautiful thing. You can kind of mess with it and do it to taste, which is your perfection. It's your world. Make it happy. Kosher salt. We're gonna just season that up real nice. And again, just to taste. Give that a good little mix. Alright. And we'll pour it right in there. Wow. Alright. So dump it in. And since I want to put all the vegetables in there, I'm not going to use quite all of it. So I would say about 8 eggs on that one. And we'll just drop we'll get the onions in there. Just kind of sprinkle them around. We'll get the mushrooms in there and just kind of plop them around. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just kind of put some happy little vegetables in there. And then we'll throw all the spinach on top here and mix this all in. You can just do it with your finger. Just kind of push it down in there a little bit. Like that. Take the garlic, put the garlic on top. Nice raw garlic. I love garlic. Gonna make that real nice. After you put the cheese in there, you're not going to touch it because I want the cheese to be in the places that I put them in. I want equal amounts of cheese in each bite. Carefully lift, place it in the oven because you don't want to make a mess here. There she is. So what it does, it puffs up real tall, and then when it cools, it's going to settle back down. And you can always tell when it's done if you take it like this and it doesn't jiggle very much and you can't really see anything wiggling underneath, you know it's done. It's pretty firm up here. That's exactly how you want it. So we'll let that cool, and then we'll give it a good cut and give it a taste. See that there? It's perfectly set. Everything's nice and cooked. It's going to be a nice creamy quiche. Let's give it a taste. Super creamy. Lots of dill inside of there. That mozzarella cheese really plays a good role in this quiche, especially because it's nice and salty. Hope you guys liked today's episode. Go ahead and try this quiche at home. Super delicious, simple, easy. The total cooking time on it was 35 minutes. Puffed up real nice, settled back down. Let it cool for about 5 to 10 minutes before you cut it and serve it. And always remember to keep cooking, and we'll see you later.